Oh, yeah. Look at that sweet corn. Yeah, you put some Old Bay sauce on there. Little butter. Ooh, look at them kernels. I just want to eat it up. Just eat that entire cob. Yeah. Oh, hey everybody. Yeah, that was corn. Well, it was. I just logged off. Uh, I have a thing for corn. I watch a lot of corn videos. Welcome to Star Wars, the final episode, The Return of the Jedi. So I've been having a lot of fun with this series, and so have all of you. It seems like it's doing really well, at least for my standards. I'm very proud of it, and just going to make sure. If you don't know, at 5 minutes is when we officially start. This is just sort of the introduction and get us all ready for it. But I'm going to keep going. I want to see what happens. Maybe I should do like telling everybody what happened in the previous one at the 5 minute mark too. I think I'll do that because that'll make it a little bit. Even if you're if you want to skip to the 5 minute mark, you can still skip. Oh, sorry, I can't find me. Hold on. Just making sure that this is working. Hopefully it is. View channel. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Just want to make sure nothing's going wrong. You almost have to do it when it's when the video is actually up. But I was thinking of doing, I hope you all are into this, a Muppet version of this. Since this series has done so well, I want to do the Muppets Lord of the Rings. Because I don't want to do like a rational version of the Lord of the Rings. I want to do something different. So we'll do like a Muppet version of it. And at the 5 minute mark here, we are going to start with the AI retelling of the Return of the Jedi, and we'll do a little bit of a refresher. But I'm sorry for anyone who came here on their Saturday night and they had plans. Yeah, this was the best night I had Saturday, so I just thought I'd go ahead. And by the way, anybody out there listening, if you check out, because I know this was kind of a quiet thing, check out the Lorax, my Lorax wrap. It has been released just recently, and I really hope it gets a good amount of views. It's already doing pretty good. It's already at 20, so that's not too bad. I like to get at least to 100. So definitely check out the Lorax wrap. And there will definitely be more Dr. Seuss wraps in the future. But this is exciting. This is one of the this is definitely one of the best Star Wars films. I still say Empire is the king and is obviously the king too. It's the only one I'd give a perfect 100% to, which, I mean, even Lord of the Rings, I'd only give one of those movies a perfect 100%. I'm not sure about Harry Potter. I was mentioning that in our previous episode, Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if I could give any of the Harry Potter films a perfect 100%. I'm thinking about it. I might change my mind. But I guess we'll just wait until the 5 minute mark starts, and then we will begin. Give everybody. It just allows, like, if people don't want to listen to the introduction, it gives people a chance to just skip the introduction. I got a lot of episodes planned for next week. I'm hoping, as long as nothing goes wrong. I'm gonna do the last of Seth talk. See, you get special information like that if you watch the actual 5 minute introduction. But here in a second, we'll be going ahead and starting in 15 seconds. Lighting looks good today. Never know with the way this is set up. I got 2 lights on me just to light myself up. It's kind of ridiculous. It's from my computer. You can't do live on your phone. Anyways, we are starting. So if you don't know what happened last time, basically the biggest change is that whole thing at with Luke and Darth Vader. Luke's like, no, you're not my father. It's not true. You're lying. All that didn't happen. Luke still does not know Darth Vader is his father. And Luke has more powers as a Jedi. And also Han Solo still in carbonite. I still say Leia and Chewbacca and R2-D2 and C-3PO are all fine. I don't think Darth Vader would have killed them. They were always meant to be leverage. But with that said, let's continue the story. So I've been thinking a lot about this. I need your help. If you're out there listening, I would like to hear your opinion about this. Do you think Jabba the Hutt would have killed Han Solo eventually? Like, I know he waited a long time. It's been a hard decision for me, and I'm going to have to make it now. And I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comment, but I am leaning towards he wouldn't have done it. That's my opinion, because Han Solo could get them a lot of money if they just hold up on killing him. The Empire would freaking pay for him. He's become famous throughout the Rebel Alliance. It would be stupid of Jabba the Hutt, in my opinion, to kill Han Solo. The only thing, it would be like a power play, basically. And to be fair, Jabba the Hutt is very powerful. If it were me, if I was Jabba the Hutt, I would not kill Han Solo. I think that is a dumb move, but we'll see. Let's get started. Make sure to share screen. Oh, and Luke still, his aunt and uncle are dead. It's taken him a little while with that, but this is working. It looks like it is. Perfect. And so we begin another story in a galaxy far, far away. My friends are in danger. The emotional pull to help them is immense based on the facts. Oh, how did this get down here all the way? All right. Where are my friends and what is their next? To stay and train has been vindicated. Okay, so I was also thinking about this, and it's hard to say exactly how long Luke had agreed to stay there, but I think Yoda can sense a lot of things with the Force, so he's going to be aware that problems are arising. And I also think that it makes a lot of sense for us from a storytelling perspective, because we do have to take some liberties here in our guesswork. I think it's a safe guess to say it would be a year after the events, the ending of the actual Empire, which is actually how it goes in the original film. Return of the Jedi occurs a year after Empire. So I'm saying that this actually happens in the same time. Now, okay, so Luke has joined Leia. All right. You join Leia. C-3PO, R2-D2, and we got to remember Lando, Chewbacca, and Lando. You learn all about their previous adventure. Their meeting. I guess all the same stuff happens. I mean, the only difference in Empire was that Luke doesn't know his uncle and aunt are dead. It doesn't really change it too much. It's amazing that was the only change in A New Hope in a way. Empire, it only towards the end do we get a huge change. There's going to be some. Oh, and that's another important note. There are going to be some huge changes for this one. It's going to get pretty crazy. I can already tell. I can kind of figure out what almost has to happen at some level, and it's going to. it's kind of crazy. I think we're going to probably end up killing Han Solo, so that's going to be one thing. Their encounter with the space worm. The space worm travels in Cloud City. I'll get Luke up to speed real quick. And fighting Darth, I think that's fair to say, fighting Darth Vader and his forces. You are confused why Darth Vader, why the Empire didn't kill Leia. That's a fair statement to make, I think. But think maybe they were trying to, think maybe they were trying to ransom them. That would be what I do. There are definitely choices from the Star Wars films, because they're films, I guess, to make them more entertaining, where I'm like, why didn't you all just do this? That's pretty much every movie, though, honestly. I don't know why the rebels didn't buy Han Solo to begin with. Just he's friends with Luke. Luke just saved the Death Star. I would be just like, I'd be taking some of my money and saving Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt. But they weren't interested in doing that because, I don't know, they didn't have a lot of money, I guess. I didn't really get it. I've looked it up. I've heard the explanations. I don't know if I agree with them myself, but I don't know. Leave in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. Think maybe they were trying to ransom them. You now have a choice. This is going to be interesting. Do you save Han Solo, or he has been taken? This is going to be a long sentence, paragraph. He has been taken by Jabba the Hutt in his carbonite form, probably still alive. So now Luke's going to have to decide whether he wants to go and help and save his friend. Jabba the Hutt, I think it's safe to say, has him for ransom. But, this is a big but, the rebels have gotten word that, what was it? The rebels have gotten word that, by the way, if you see me blinking hard during this, I just put in contacts and they're kind of messing with me. Not too bad, though. Just a few blinks. I think I'm going to be okay. But the rebels have gotten word that, by the way, if I didn't have contacts, my vision would be terrible. I have the worst vision. Like, everything would be a blur. I am terrible. I'm very lucky to live in a world where they have invented contacts. But the rebels have gotten word. Not an important, just a fun fact about me. It's not this. Yeah, it's not that great of information, I'm sure. But now you know. No information is bad information, right? I mean, if you were ever gonna like attack me, you could just pull out my contacts, and then I wouldn't be able to see. I'd just be running around. That's how you attack me. Just grab my eyeballs, grab my contacts out, then you can beat me up. But the rebels have gotten word that the Empire is building a new Death Star. You and your friends could go to the moon of Endor and try and destroy the oh gosh, what's the word? The shield generator. Remember, time is of the essence to do. And remember, this is, and I do think it is fair to say it would be a year afterwards. Again, it's hard to say. I mean, I am taking a bit of a liberty by saying it's going to be a year afterwards that Luke returns from his training. That is of a little bit of a leap in logic, but not too much of one. I think it's fair to say. I think Luke would have been trying to get at least in contact at some level with the rebels. It might have been a little difficult, but I personally think this is the way it would go down. That's just, again, just I have to do a few leaps of logic. What do you choose to do? Save your friend or the rebels? Attack. I think we all know what the logical decision here would be. Or attack the shield generators. I think that's a fair statement. Shield generator. Is it generator or generators? That's something I don't know. We'll say generator. Yeah, probably one. I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan. Okay, all right. I'm kind of repeating myself by saying save your friend or attack the shield generator, but I don't care. Again, this is all about time is of the essence with this, so let's just do it. I don't want to keep you all here all Saturday night. Having reunited with my friends and learned of their harrowing journey, my logical mind is processing a massive influx of information. You're not a robot, dude. The escape from the space slug. I said worm. Worm. It's not a slug. Probably is a slug. Cloud City and the confrontation with Vader. All of it reinforces the Empire's immense power and ruthlessness. Leia's survival is a point of curiosity, but the ransoming theory holds up to a logical scrutiny of Imperial tactics. Now a critical choice stands before me, a classic dilemma between a personal mission and a strategic military objective. I choose to attack the shield generator. This decision is not without deep regret and a heavy heart for Han, but is the only logical choice for a Jedi committed to the greater good. Dude, that'd be my choice too, honestly. It'd be tough. My decision is made. Han would understand. He is a pragmatist. Pragmatist. Who the hell uses that word? Only AI would use that word. He would know that the survival of the rebellion is more important than his own freedom. We will save him, but only after we have saved the galaxy. So AI is not going to save Han Solo. So I say we kill him. No, I was thinking about it, and I don't think Jabba the Hutt would have killed Han Solo. I really don't. I don't see that happening. But I did ask Google about this, and it said, yeah, he would have killed him. It would have been a power play. I know Jabba the Hutt's really powerful, so maybe it would just been like, oh, I'm gonna do this, It wouldn't have been what I would have done. But of course, he did try to kill Luke and Han Solo at the beginning. I think that made a little more sense. I could get that because they were like freaking attacking him. So yeah. Then they're actually attacking him. But all Han Solo did was like freaking take some money from him, which I know is very important. But like Jabba could get a lot more money for Han Solo when the time comes. He should have just held on to him. But yeah, I guess he would make the stupid decision and kill him. I mean, if you all disagree, please leave in the comments, and I will definitely change that. But for the moment, we are considering we're considering the possibility that Jabba the Hutt killed Han Solo. Stupid move, but what do you do? He's a slug. He is a slug. All right. So once again, for some weird reason, we keep getting into situations where AI has to choose between a friend and the fate of the entire world. And it's going with the fate of the entire world. And I see the logic in that. All right. No, we don't. Not all right's not the right word there. You head out to the moon of Endor. While you're heading out, you flirt with Leia some. They were flirting in the original 2 films. You can't tell me they weren't. Oh, I think I knew the entire time. She like kisses him on 2 occasions in the films. She knew the entire time they were brother and sister. No. Why are you heading out? No. Don't. Why you? Is there something wrong with that? Why you are? As, oh yeah, I probably should say as, while, that's what it is. Why and while are mixed up. While you are heading out. I'm sure there's some grammar mistakes, by the way. I know a lot more about grammar than I'm letting on in here. It's just, I'm trying to hurry. While you are heading out, you flirt with Leia. You realize she's a very beautiful woman. A beautiful woman. She, in turn, flirts with you. You think about your kiss. Your kiss on, I don't think it was the Death Star, but we'll just call it the Death Star. On the Death Star. Maybe once this war is over, you could settle down with a girl like her. I don't like where, I'm doing this, but I don't like where this story is going at all, but it does seem like the logical course of action if Luke doesn't know Leia is his sister. And I very seriously doubt Yoda would have told him if Yoda hadn't been prompted in any way, because Yoda went out of his way not to tell Luke anything. I mean, it took him a lot just to admit that Darth Vader was his father. You could so. But the business at hand. But you can't think about that right now. You can't think about that right now. You must think about the people, about the Rebel Alliance, and the galaxy as a whole. And the galaxy. You must think about the Rebel Alliance and the galaxy. You are the only one who can save it. You head to the moon. I'm not going to say you head to the moon of Endor again. You now have even more power. I got to mention the powers he's gone. Now have even more powers with the... You now have an even greater understanding of the Force. I think this is fair to say. I looked up just to be sure about this because I know this is kind of important. I did look up what kind of powers he would have over years training. Something like he probably could be able to lift objects. You can lift heavier. You can lift objects. Let's see, what size should we restrict him to? I'd say around 10 feet. 10 feet. You can. Should I say he could hypnotize people? I say slight hypnosis, although no guarantee it will always work. And you can try other stuff. You think... Actually, that's a better thing to say. I think for certain he can lift things. We'll just say, and you can try other stuff you think Luke think you'd be able to do. And I will decide whether or not you'd be able to do after a year of training with the Force. You arrive on Endor. You walk with Leia through the woods. It is beautiful. You notice her hair. They are so perfectly bunned. Like cinnamon rolls. This is what would happen, people. Wow. You come across 2 Death Eaters. I know it is. 2 stormtroopers. Well, actually, it's about 4. I just watched this movie, so I do have a bit of better. It's what I should have done with the 4. The only reason I didn't do it with the New Hope was because I couldn't get a hold of it. We don't have that kind of money on this channel to just go get something on Amazon. 4 stormtroopers. They are guarding. They are guarding. Yeah, they are guarding this. They are guarding the. Gosh, they are guarding the shield generator. It's horrible. I just did that. They are guarding the shield generator. What do you do? All right, what do you do? Is there anything wrong there? Maybe I'll ask you guys. How are you all doing, by the way? I'm sorry if I haven't been responding to your comments. No comments, okay? Fair enough. I know this is Saturday night, so I'm not expecting a huge crowd. I think we actually did pretty good, though, honestly. What do you do? Maybe once this war is over, you could settle down with a girl like her, but you can't think about that right now. All right, I'm just going to go for it. I think it'll understand. It's pretty good about understanding things. That's another thing about AI that amazes me. It's really good at understanding what you like, even if you misspell things. Oh, let's hear what Luke has to say about his sister. By the way, in case you don't think this is a realistic thing that could happen, we actually have quite a few cases of, which is just an indication of how weird nature can be. We have quite a few documented cases of this exact thing happening, where brothers and sisters will meet each other and fall in love and then later find out they're brothers and sisters. And it's very strange that this keeps happening, but it does happen. So this is a realistic possibility. It has happened in our world. It could happen in a galaxy far, far away. My journey to the forest. Forgot he's a nerd. My journey to the forest moon of Endor is filled with a new and unexpected emotional complication. My logical mind, so focused on the strategic imperatives of war, again, another word no one would ever say except AI, is confronted with the human side of the conflict. Leia, the casual flirting, the memory of the kiss on the Death Star. It all awakens a part of me I had long suppressed. She is beautiful, intelligent, and strong, a perfect partner. I allow myself a brief, logical consideration of a life with her, because that's what every girl wants. That's what you girls want, right? A guy that considers a logical life with her after the war. But my training with Yoda asserts itself. Pushing these thoughts aside, my mission, my duty is to the galaxy. My personal feelings, why real, cannot be a liability. The fate of the rebellion rests on my ability to remain focused. We arrive on Endor, and the planet's beauty is a stark contrast to the grim reality of our mission. The lush forests, the towering trees, the vibrant life, it all reinforces what we are fighting for. I'm not going through this. Okay, we'll do that part. My observations of Leia's hair, though a brief moment of aesthetic appreciation, are quickly pushed aside as a new, more immediate threat presents itself. This part is not necessary. We'll go past that. Trust me, I've done these a lot. This is what I do in my spare time usually. My decision is to use a combination of stealth, observation, and my advanced force abilities to bypass the stormtroopers without raising an alarm. A frontal attack is illogical and would compromise the mission. Our mission is to destroy the shield generator, not to engage in an unnecessary firefight. What is the patrol pattern of the stormtroopers? Are they easily bypassed or are they a significant obstacle? Okay, I'll explain a little more. They are stationed by the door, just standing there. What are you going to do to them? Now, in this situation, Han Solo was there, and he basically just went up to them and kind of just attacked them. But in this situation, we'll see what Luke does to Disney. So what are you going to do to them? You better move quick. Because the fate of the galaxy depends on it. Maybe I shouldn't say that because then he'll hurry. I'll just say, what are you going to do with them? The 4 stormtroopers are stationary, standing guard by the door to the shield generator. This simplifies the situation, also presents a direct challenge. A surprise attack is the best and only option. Okay, what? Frontal assault is not utilize the force. Use my van. It doesn't want to make a decision, I think. Force cloak. A force cloak. Okay, so here it is. Utilize the force. I will use it might have said this before, I don't care. Abilities to our advantage. I begin by using a force cloak to muffle our presence, making us harder to detect. Use a force distraction to draw the attention of the 2 stormtroopers away from the door. Okay, so from what I can tell, he's going to use force speed, force push, and drag them into the ambush and tie them up to ensure they don't wake up. So this is getting interesting because they might not meet the Ewoks. I think they would probably, though, eventually. Okay. So now we got to decide, would Luke get captured in this situation by the stormtroopers? Oh, hello there, random clone marshal. Good to meet you. You're one of the clones? That was one of the enemies, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the prequels as good. I just like the original trilogy. I mean, I've watched them. They were a mixed bag. I liked Revenge of the Sith a lot. I think that one was definitely my favorite of the prequels. I thought the sequels were all pretty good, honestly. Even Rise of Skywalker, but it's definitely not my favorite of the 3. Last Jedi, I don't know why I couldn't get into. It was technically a very great film. It just, I don't know. It was weird. It's very well made and everything. I don't know why it was. I just couldn't get into it. I think it might have been just my imagination. I don't know. So we got to decide here. In this situation, would this whole plan work? All right. Here's what I think would happen. This is just, again, me doing a leap of logic. Your plan works. But soon, even more stormtroopers arrive. This is kind of me guessing. You have a battle with them using your force powers. During the confrontation, eventually, however, so I'm going to kind of make it like it was in the original film. That would be kind of my guess. However, you make a run for it. You, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and I'm forgetting C-3PO. C-3PO and R2-D2 get separated from Leia. As you are wandering through the forest, you get captured by the Ewoks. I do think this would happen. They would eventually run into the Ewoks pretty much no matter what. If any of you disagree, feel free to say so in the comments. But even in this situation, I think it would eventually happen. You get captured by the Ewoks. You are taken to their city. They are all crowding. For some reason, they view C-3PO as a god, but they want to cook you, even though C-3PO is trying to get... A question, though, that has to be asked is, would this situation even happen since Luke has even more power with the Force? Or would he just try to attack them because they are attacking him? It's a good question. What do you all think? I mean, he's got a good amount of power with the Force now. It won't take too long with this decision. Well, let's see what he does. I mean, maybe he'll attack the Ewoks right now. Trying to get them to stop. How are you going to fight? How are you going to stop these Ewoks? Yeah, because he might actually. We'll just say that they caught him for a little bit. They caught him off guard. He's kind of taking in the situation. I mean, if he's being logical about it, he'd probably be like, okay, let's see what's going on here. What are these Ewoks going to do? They're kind of worship. Another thing to keep in mind too is they're kind of worshiping C-3PO at this moment. So he's like, what am I like? Maybe I shouldn't attack just yet. He's gonna wait. This is a situation though where he would have to make a decision. He's biding his time a little bit. Come on, he wants to see maybe they have Leia. Maybe that's going on in the back of his mind. I think that makes sense, right? My plan to take out the stormtrooper worked, but it was a temporary victory. More troops arrived and a pitched battle ensued. I fought with all the force powers at my command, but eventually the sheer numbers forced us to retreat. In the chaos, I, Chewbacca, and the droids were separated from Leia. Now we're in another impossible situation. Captured by Ewoks, a primitive species, we're tied up and about to be cooked. They seem to revere C-3PO as a god, which is a bizarre but crucial piece of information. My plan to stop the Ewoks is based on a logical exploitation of their belief system and my new abilities as a Jedi. Okay. And I think, even in the original trilogy too, he had a good amount of powers. He could have fought the Ewoks a little bit better than he did. So I feel like he was, even in that series, kind of just being like, okay, what am I going to do here? So I think this is safe to say, right? You all agree with me? Right. I'm going to go with it. I think this is what he'd do. This plan uses their own belief against them. It is the most logical way to escape without resorting to violence, which would turn a potential ally into an enemy. The goal is to use our combined resources, C-3PO's unique status, and my force powers to secure our freedom. All right, so we are actually going to have to read these ones. I'll try to be quick. I can read fast. Okay, so who used levitation? Pretty much the exact same thing that happened in the film. It works. The Ewoks worship you as a god. They agree to help fight the Empire. Oh, yeah, you got the teddy bears on your side. I do agree with George Lucas about this. I think the Ewoks didn't have the worst chance in defeating the Empire. And there's a lot of situations in history where you see this sort of thing. Empires coming in and trying to destroy the natives, and the natives just knew the land better. They had a lot, going for them. It's like with the British and the Americans, and and also considering the Empire's like choice of wear of white in the middle of a forest, where as the Ewoks were blending in, the Ewoks had a really good chance of winning. It's also cool because a lot of Star Wars has a lot of like Lord of the Rings philosophy to it, like Luke going to save his friends, even though it would make more sense almost to use the Force. But the idea for Tolkien was it wasn't about in Tolkien's mind, Frodo destroying the ring wasn't like Frodo choosing to destroy the ring wasn't a choice like, oh, this is something we're going to be able to achieve. He did it because it was the right thing to do. And to Tolkien, that was the important thing, to do the right thing, whether or not the consequences resulted in success. And that's a lot in Star Wars, too. And, and also, of course, they have a lot of similarities in philosophy with nature, defeating technology. Technology is looked down on. Star Wars has technology, obviously, but the way people use technology is looked down on by both Tolkien and George Lucas. I just realized, by the way, Luke. I wonder if that was a coincidence or whether he's just. It's kind of weird for me to think of George Lucas, the individual, going around and doing all this stuff as Luke Skywalker. I'd love to see an AI rendering of that, but it might have been in the back of his head. Probably. That was probably intentional. Luke. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Not something I do. I would never name. I wouldn't even base a character off of myself intentionally. Not unless you're doing a YouTube channel. Should you do that? YouTube's a little different. There's different rules. They agree to help fight the Empire. You and Leia, who you find out the Ewoks captured, are reunited. Now you enjoy some time with the woodland creatures. But in the night, now this is where things start to change. But in the night, you decide to take a walk, as he did in the original trilogy. As you look out at the moon, Oh, by the way, Yoda's dead. You think Yoda's dead, and did not tell him anything. I refuse to believe that little green booger would be willing to tell Luke about all of this if he had not been prompted. That is one thing I will stand by to the grave. I'm willing to hear out the argument that Jabba the Hutt would have killed Han Solo. I am not willing to hear out the argument that Yoda would tell anyone anything that was important, because that is just not Yoda. As you look out at the moon, you think about things. So many have passed. I forgot to mention Yoda died, to be honest. Recently, Yoda died. And Obi-Wan. And your aunt and... I think he found out about that. We're just going to say he did. And your aunt and uncle. It seems all of your caretakers... Yeah, that is true. All of your caretakers pass away. You have bad luck, Luke. You turn. There is Leia. Looking beautiful. Looking beautiful in the starlight. Leia. You whisper. Well, this is going to be the part where we take some leaps. She walks up, and then you hear a noise. You turn. There is Darth Vader. He stands before you with lightsaber drawn. He does not seem to be attacking yet. What do you do? I'm going to have to explain this, aren't I? This is a little bit of guesswork, too. So this is definitely one of the biggest leaps of logic I'm probably going to do in this entire series. I guess I'm allowed one. The reason I think this would happen is, one, we know Luke goes out on a walk. He's thinking about things. I think this event would have happened in the this changed version. We know Darth Vader knows that Luke doesn't know that he's his son, but Darth Vader knows. So Darth Vader is going to try and seize his chance. This is all, by the way, a plot by the Empire to destroy the rebels. So he's going to go down there and he's going to try to talk to Luke. And I don't know if he really had any Empire permission to do this. Maybe they want him on their side so that he can turn to the dark side. This is a pretty big moment, I have to admit, where I deviate from what... Oh, hello, Bird Gamer. Sorry, I didn't see you there. How long have you been there? This is a pretty big take on what would happen, I do admit. I think it would. I think at some level, I think most people would agree, at some level, Darth Vader would probably try to talk to Luke. Now, whether that would happen when they first arrived, maybe. But what I probably should have done would have been better would be Darth Vader got captured at the shield generator. But I don't think that would have happened because they had to run away from it. So this is kind of a guess in this situation. This moment under the starlight on Endor is a perfect storm of I'm suddenly going in Romeo voice. Is a perfect storm of emotional vulnerability and strategic threat. The loss of every parental or mentor figure in my life, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Aunt Beru, and Uncle Owen, weigh heavily on me. The vision of Leia, the person I've come to care for most, only intensifies this emotional state. The sudden silent appearance of Darth Vader is not a physical threat. It is the ultimate test of my emotional and logical control as a Jedi. My logical process immediately takes over, surpassing the fear and the emotional turn. My plan is to protect Leia, avoid a direct confrontation, and use this moment of psychological warfare to gain an advantage. A Jedi does not rush into a fight. A Jedi uses their mind as the greatest weapon. What do you want, Vader, is basically what this is saying. Let me just make sure. Okay, so he's going to push Leia back. Luke, says Darth Vader. So, another thing I wanted to say is that Darth Vader would be able probably to find Luke because he can sense him with the Force. So if Luke goes off by himself and Darth Vader is nearby and he sees an opportunity where Luke is not with anybody and is close, I mean, even Leia, he's not going to be afraid of. I mean, he was not going to be afraid of any of those little teddy bears either, or really Chewbacca or anyone. I mean, this is a lot of guesswork on my part, I admit. I have to take some creative liberties with this. Luke, says Darth Vader, there is much I'd like to tell. Would you be willing to talk to me for a moment? Darth Vader's words are a jarring deviation from his usual aggressive demeanor. His tone, while still a deep mechanical growl, carries a hint of something more, a deliberate attempt to engage rather than simply destroy. This is a critical moment. He is not just a combatant, he is a manipulator. My logical process, now honed by Yoda's training, immediately recognizes this as a trap, but a trap that may contain valuable information. It is still a prayer. Out of the immediate. I would stand. Talk then, Vader, I would say, my voice steady, my gaze fixed on his mask. But do not expect me to lower my guard. I will not fall for your tricks. A battle. This is a new kind of battle, a battle of wits and will, and I am ready for it. Darth Vader has a story to tell. He says that you are his son, that he wishes for you to join. That he wishes for you to join. For you to join the dark side. What do you do? I will understand, by the way, if anyone in the comments wants to be like, no way, this wouldn't have happened. Vader and Luke wouldn't have met in this way. I get it. This is definitely where I'm taking some creative liberties. Just joined. Hi, Bird Gamer. The moment Vader uttered those words, "You are my son," the universe as I know it shatters. It's a truth so profound. How does AI come up with this in a single second? Goodness gracious. We are totally going to lose a war with AI. Not that any war with AI is ever going to happen. So devastating that my logical mind struggles to process it. The man who killed Obi-Wan, who hunted the rebellion, who represents everything I am fighting against, is my father. A wave of emotion, shock, disbelief, betrayal, gleefulness, curiosity, stomach problems, sadness threatens to overwhelm me. But I am a Jedi trained by Yoda to control my emotions, to not let them be my downfall. No. Yeah. I'm sure the AI would have been like, yeah. That's not true. That's impossible. Okay, good job. You're you're going with the, you're going to have a little throwback to the old film, huh? Clever. Okay. I didn't say he said he was Anakin Skywalker, but he probably did. But I will fight you. Darth Vader. So this is it. So Darth Vader is going to attack him to try to provoke him to go to the dark side. Runs forth and attacks you. The two of you have an epic lightsaber battle. Leia has gone away to get help. Eventually, you are able to overpower him. You push him to the ground. You can't believe his story. You are his son? It couldn't be true. He lays with your light sword, Vader, pointed directly at his head. So I'm going to think that Darth Vader is going to be a little smarter than the Emperor was and not say a single word and let Luke go to the dark side. I'm sure the Emperor wouldn't mind, and I think Darth Vader would be okay with this situation. What do you do now? Kill Darth Vader? Or this whole situation is probably going to be the biggest thing people are going to fight about in the comments. This is a huge guess on my part. But one was bound to happen when you're doing something like this. Or kill Darth Vader, or let him live. He lies there, a wheezing hulk of a man, his armor. Oh gosh, that's so much better than what I wrote. The air is sick with the smell of ozone and the weight of a galaxy's death saber. Okay, to let him live. My logical choice is to let him live. I am a Jedi, I would say, my voice firm and clear. I wasn't 100% sure, by the way. I kind of guessed this moment would happen, but I wasn't sure if Luke would let Darth Vader live. I will not kill you. I will not become the Jedi. You take Darth Vader as prisoner. Oh gosh, how would they even keep Darth Vader prisoner? You know enough about the Force from your year of training to keep him safely contained. Tomorrow, you will attack the shield generator and hopefully win the war against the Empire. And hopefully win the war against the Empire. Any more questions you want to ask Darth Vader? After subduing Darth Vader and securing him, I would not waste the opportunity to gather as much information as possible. The logical mind of a Jedi dictates that an asset as valuable as Vader, now my prisoner, should be exploited for the greater good of the rebellion. My questions would be carefully chosen to gain a strategic advantage against the Empire, while also probing the depths of his past as Anakin Skywalker. Now, the reason why Darth Vader is not afraid of being captured in this situation is because this is all a trick by the Emperor. The Emperor knows he's going to go after the shield generator. It's all a trap. Remember that. What is the size? What is my sister's name? You don't know she's Leia. You do not know. This is quite good. Yeah. I think it is interesting. What would Luke do to Darth Vader? I would not miss the opportunity to gather as much information. My questions would be where is the Emperor? What is his location and his immediate plans? What is the Empire's weakness? What are their Yeah, he's going to just tell him the weaknesses. What is the status of the new Death Star? Where is it being built? What are its defensive? What is she like? You also question him a lot. He doesn't tell you You know what? I'm going to tell this thing. You do not know Leia is your sister. This is not information you currently possess. Back to the story. Because right now he's in love with his sister. What is your sister's name, and why did you and the Emperor let her live? What is the future? He was a Jedi. Darth Vader tells you the entire story. I could actually see Darth Vader just like revealing a whole bunch of stuff to Luke. I mean, entire story. In fact, let's just do this. I could see Darth Vader being a talker when he's like away from the Emperor. The whole story of the prequel series, prequel trilogy. He explains. He seems sad. You wonder if maybe this isn't true. I think he'd sense it. You sense in your heart that there may be more. That there may be more to than meets the eye. What if it's true? What if he is your father? Why else would he come out into the woods to talk to you, risking everything for a moment with his son? There is something about it that makes sense. But you will have to solve these mysteries later. Time is of the essence. You leave Vader in your crudely constructed cell, hoping that he will not escape. The next morning, you go. The Ewoks. Oh, thank you, Bird Gamer. Hi, Greater Than Gaming VR. I subscribed. Well, you're in luck because we're also going to be doing a Lord of the Rings Muppet thing. So, hey, in the comments, tell me what Muppet characters you think should be Lord of the Rings characters. Like, should Kermit be Frodo? Which Kermit is going to be Frodo. I've already decided on that. But should I don't know, Fozzie Bear be Sam? Should Robin be Pippin? I haven't really decided yet, so please leave it below. I could really see Statler and Waldorf being Saruman. I really could see that. The next morning, the Ewoks and you head out to the shield generator. It's the third time I did that. The battle is about to commence. You hope Lando will be able to help. Okay, so basically now this has changed too. Luke isn't going to go onto the ship with the with Vader because Vader has already came down there. I also should mention, I forgot one of the reasons why I assumed this would happen was because this was going to be what Vader did originally in the original trilogy. He sensed Luke on Endor, and he was going to go down and meet with Luke. But the Emperor was like, no, don't do that because he's coming to you. So in a situation where it was changed, Vader might try like a last-ditch effort to meet his son. Again, it is a guess, but it is supported by the Return of the Jedi film. Vader was going to go down and meet with Luke. Whether or not it would have been like this or not, I don't know. It is a guess. After hours of listening to Vader's tragic tale, which included a very weird comic character known as Jar Jar Binks, I didn't really get his inclusion. I think Vader was making him up. He certainly didn't seem real. A story of a Jedi turned Dark Lord, of love lost and power corrupted. My mind is in turmoil. The narrative he weaves, a tapestry of heroic feats and horrifying betrayals, feels both alien and strangely familiar. Also, quick note, Vader does not know that Leia is his daughter. That is not a piece of information he has. The logic of his fall to the dark side, while a perversion of the Jedi way, is a logical descent of a man driven by love and fear. The emotional weight of his words, the deep sadness I sense through the Force, tells me there's truth in his story. What is your favorite Star Wars character? Oh, who is your favorite Star Wars character? Oh, who? I'd say C-3PO. I like C-3PO a lot. I see myself. That would be the way I would react on being on this adventure in Star Wars. Oh dear. But you can't go through the meter. There's only like a one in like a million chance you're going to survive this. That is how I would react. That would be the exact way I would go through this adventure. Just C-3PO. I also think that this is kind of random, but I was thinking about this yesterday. I think that if I was in the Temple of Doom, I would probably be the lady character screaming at everything. I mean, you can say that woman is annoying, but you can't say her reactions aren't realistic. I think a lot of us would react that way. Good character, same. Okay. Yeah, he's also just hilarious. I love the way he reacts to everything that's going on. As I lead the Ewoks and the rebel commanders, my memory is a flurry of tactical calculations and emotional turmoil. I will lead the charge, lightsaber in hand, ready to fight with every fiber of my being. The fate of the galaxy is on my shoulder. I will not fail. Okay, so actually, it's getting later. We're past an hour, but I had no hope of being able to finish this in that amount of time. But we're actually getting to the point where I think a lot of the same things would happen, weirdly enough. I'm going to show you. Let's just see what the AI would do in this situation. How will you attack the Empire? We'll skim through whatever it says. How will you attack the Empire? What will you have the Wookiees do? I know it's Ewoks, but if you just take a few letters out, it's Ewoks from Wookiee. Yeah, I caught myself on that. I noticed when I said it. What will have the Ewoks do? What will have the Ewoks do? What will you have the Ewoks do? I missed a word. What will you have the Ewoks do? How will you get to the shield generator? My strategy is to attack the Empire in a multi-pronged approach, leveraging the unique strength of our force and the element of surprise. We will not engage in a straight-up fight, but rather a coordinated series of strikes designed to cripple their defenses and open a path. Ground assault. I'm just going to skim through this if you all don't mind. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. I will lead the ground assault on the shield. Our primary objective is to disable the generators, but we cannot do that without first distracting the Imperial forces. Okay. Pretty much exactly what happens in the original one then. Okay. You arrive at the door, and much like Han Solo did, you're able to tap in to the... You want R2-D2 to get in. But he gets shot and is unable to. Instead, you have to try and break in. Luckily, So weirdly enough, both Han Solo and Luke would probably do the same thing in this situation. Luke is very good with technology, so he'd at least be able to break in. And I am guessing a little bit because, of course, obviously, who knows what would really happen in this situation. But you end up getting the doors even tighter. Eventually, however, Chewbacca arrives and blasts the doors down. You are able to blow up the shield generator with the help of, oh my gosh, this is going to be a quicker ending than we thought. And Darth Vader is alive. Of the Ewoks. Then you are able to blow up the shield generators with the help of the Ewoks. Would the Emperor have lived? We don't even have to answer that question. Then they do a great job fighting in the cutest way possible. It was very cute. Teddy bear war. They were very cute, though, I have to say. You win. You find out that Lando was able to destroy the second Death Star. Most likely, Vader is dead. I mean, most likely the Emperor is dead. He's dead. You all celebrate under the indoor. All right. So, and so we're not done yet, I don't think. And what is your favorite star vehicle? Mine is the AD. I don't, I really like the, what was it called? The one from Phantom Menace, honestly. Oh gosh, I don't remember the name. The victory is a cacophony. Again, only a word AI would know. Of sound and emotion. The cheers of the Ewoks, the triumphant shouts of the rebel commandos, the distant roar of the exploding Death Star, all of it blends into a single joyous moment. We did it. We won. My own role in the battle was a blur of lightsaber deflections, force-augmented leaps, and tactical directions. The Ewoks, those furry, primitive warriors, proved to be an invaluable asset. They fought with a ferocity and cunningness that belied their belied, I think is actually the word. And their knowledge of the Force was the key to our success. Now, as the celebration rages on under the indoor moon, my mind turns to the logical implications of our victory. The end of the war, the Empire's power. The celebration is a reminder of the sacrifice of so many. Oh, now my prisoner in a crude cell in the forest. His face is now a matter for the rebellion to decide. I will advocate for his life, for his redemption. I don't think we should end here. Let's go to at least 9:30. Are you going to do this more Star Wars episodes? We could, yeah, absolutely. Maybe we'll do that instead of the Muppet thing. What is your favorite? Mine is the ATFM Beagle. By the way, for that one, it's the one from the Phantom Menace. I probably could remember it if I just went back to the Weird Al Yankovic version of the song. He flew a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Naboo was under attack, and I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn, my Federation ended. But their response, it didn't kill us, and knocked the door and tried to kill us. We escaped from that gas and met Dr. Unce. We took a ride back to Naboo, because King Amadama. I don't remember. What are you going to do this to more Star Wars episodes? We could, yeah. I think we should do the sequels instead of the prequels, since we kind of now have an interest. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe after when we hit 9:30, maybe we'll quit. But maybe we could do like the next story. and see what will have changed now that Vader is alive and the Emperor is maybe alive. I don't know. He got, the ship got blown up. But part of that was that he was distracted by Luke and Vader's fight and him trying to get Luke to the dark side. Would he have been able? I don't know. Well, no, wait, he wasn't even on the ship. So he's probably alive. Okay, all right, yeah, all right. So the Emperor's still alive. But you know what? Yeah, let's leave it at that. Maybe we'll even I don't know. Maybe I'll try to figure out what would have happened, and we'll go to the next story, the Force Awakens. That's what it is. We'll do 15 minutes more of this though, and see. You and Leia sit together as the Ewoks play the stormtroopers' helmets. You share a passionate kiss. Passionate kiss. You know this is a love now that will be eternal. Sorry. This is what would have happened if nothing had intervened. You know this love now that will be eternal. You know right now you love her. You love her with everything in your heart. Right? You have never been in love. You have never been in love with a woman. With a woman. As much as you love her. So would the Emperor have died in this situation? That's kind of the thing I'm kind of wondering right now. I mean, the Death Star 2 is at least destroyed. That I can safely say. And Vader is still alive. But you get bad news. Han Solo was killed by Jabba the Hutt, I guess. I don't think that would have really happened. If we do come back to this, we can always just say, oh, wait, no, he wasn't. We can just be like, oh, no, that was just fake news. Jabba the Hutt just did that because he wanted to seem like he was powerful, but he was really keeping Han alive in case he could ever use him, which would be the smarter thing for Jabba the Hutt to do, not kill Han Solo. You could get so much freaking money out of this, dude. I do not understand why he would have killed Han Solo. The only thing could be is a power play, which I get. I mean, it does kind of make sense though, because if you consider the beginning of Return of the Jedi, he does try to kill Luke and them. Han Solo. Oh, by the way, even if we do another chapter of the Star Wars, we're gonna at least take a week or two break, or if we even do the Muppets Lord of the Rings. We're going to in between because I've got to figure some stuff out. But you got back your heart. You think to yourself, if I and Leia had rescued him and tried to rescue him in a completely impractical wacky way, he could have survived. And what about Vader? We'll just say the rebels are coming in. And they are taking him prisoner. But you have so many more. Oh, my battery's actually at 20%. You have so many more questions for him. There, we can do 10% though. It's only at it's good for the rest of this. Have you heard Hostiles Hills by Bad Lip Reading? No, I've never heard of that. I'll check it out. Hostile Hills by Bad Lip Reading. Oh! Is that like one of those YouTube videos where they do like the lip readings and they make fun of what the person could have said? I will check it out though. All right. I do think we need a sequel to this actually, because Vader's still alive in this version. Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, I'll watch it. I have seen. I think I've seen a few Star Wars bad lip readings though, so I probably have seen it. I'll check it out anyway. So, but you have so many more. There is much to be done. What would you like to do next? Let's just see what he wants to do next. Man. The joyous celebration is suddenly tainted by the bitter taste of tragedy. The news of Han's death at the hands of Jabba the Hutt is a cruel twist of fate, a brutal reminder that even in victory, there is immense loss. The kiss with Leia. It's the Battle of Hoth. Oh, cool. I should do a bad lip reading of things. I could try. I don't think I could make it funny though. I think it'd just be kind of stupid. Is suddenly tainted by the bitter tragedy. It's to process the new information. Han's death, while a devastating personal loss, was the result of a chain of events I had logically tried to prevent. The impractical, wacky way to rescue him would have likely failed. It would have likely failed, yeah. That very incredibly wacky way of saving him would almost certainly have failed, costing not just his life, but ours as well. My decision to prioritize the rebellion over a personal rescue mission, while painful, was proven correct in the end. The Death Star is destroyed, the Empire is in disarray, and countless lives have been saved. I think you can pull off a reading. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a lip reading of something. I don't know if I want to do Star Wars. I might try. Maybe I'll do Hunger Games. I don't know. The news that the rebels are taking Vader prisoner, while unexpected, is also a cause for concern. I have so many more questions for him, so many mysteries to unravel. The possibility of his redemption is a mission I cannot abandon. The path ahead is long and arduous, but I am no longer a naive farm boy. I am a Jedi. I am ready for it. Okay, well, we're at 9:22. I hate to end it here, honestly, but this is technically the end of the movie. I could almost keep going with this story and just go like a few seconds more and see what, because there's some big things now that have changed. For instance, we don't know for certain if the Emperor is dead. And oh, wait, the ship was going to be destroyed. But honestly, it wouldn't be all that impractical that in this situation, the Emperor could have escaped in an escape vessel. In fact, there's a pretty good chance of that. I could see him doing that. But Vader would definitely be alive. I like these streams. Keep them up. I like them too. This is honestly a lot of fun. I'll try to do a lot of them. I definitely need a break, though. If nothing, for no other reason than just to sort through this information and make sure that I come up with a good line of storytelling for it. I think really this is what would have happened though if Luke didn't know Darth Vader was his father earlier. Well, let's at least do a quick moment with Luke. You go to Vader. He is sitting in his cell. Sitting in his cell. He does not seem as threatening. You all can. This is kind of the end, really. But I don't know. You might want to stay tuned for it. He is sitting in his cell, breathing heavily, staring out into space. Your father's a bit creepy. Creepy. You walk up to him. Hello, Luke. he says. Vader, is the Emperor dead? The Emperor could very well have survived this, by the way. You ask. He doesn't reply. He sits there quiet. I mean, in the original trilogy, technically he doesn't die. I kind of like having Palpatine as a villain. Bad lip readings make lots of Star Wars and other things. Yeah, I have watched them before. I mean, I've certainly watched bad lip readings before. They're very funny. I will check out. I mean, I'll try a lip reading of my own. I just have to think of what I would do. I don't know. It would be fun to try something like that. Hello, Luke. He doesn't reply. You look at him for a moment. For a moment. You and the rebels have destroyed the second Death Star. You know, I kind of do wish the sequel series. The one thing I would say definitely was a problem with the sequel series was they didn't honor the happy ending of the original series. I think that was a big mistake, and I think, you know, it would be hard to. I mean, it was a happy ending originally. I just don't. You just have to come up with some way to make it work, I guess. It'd be hard as a storyteller to come up with. You'd almost have to go many years into the future, I think, but they didn't go that way. I mean, they went years into the future, but not enough years. I'm talking like maybe 1,000 years. But you feel that the battle is not over. You gave up everything. Come and talk to me. Says, you say. You are my father, aren't you? You are my father, aren't you? He stares at you. Yes, it is all true, he replies. You sit down beside him. Yes, the battle is not over. Beat that, AI! That's my dramatic ending. Yes, the battle is not over. But what exactly we are going to do, I don't know. I think it is about time that we finish, because technically that was the end, and this is just a little extra bit. The weight of his confirmation hangs in the air, heavier than his labored breathing. Yes, it is all true, he says. And in those 4 words, the universe recalibrates. The truth is not a relief. It is a profound, agonizing reality. My father, the man I once vowed to destroy, my father, what did he vow to? I don't know. Sits beside me a prisoner. My logical mind, now my primary tool for navigating this complex reality, processes this information with a chilling clarity. The battle is indeed not over. The Emperor Vader's silence on the Emperor's fate is a significant data point. It suggests one of my son's burden. My father is a mass murderer. He killed my master. Obi-Wan. But he's still my father. I will not leave you. I will not leave you, I would say, looking out into the stars. I will not give up on you, and I will not give up on the galaxy. And as I sit there, a son besides his father, a Jedi besides a Sith, I know that the greatest battle of all is yet to come. You know what we could do with this? I'm really considering this. We could just have like another story with this, because we don't even know if the Emperor is dead right now. I'm leaving that uncertain. Han Solo is probably dead. We could come up with our own new episode. We could just like do just a few months later or something, and that could just be the conclusion. And we could take like an hour and a half or an hour and decide. But Oh, sorry, I didn't see that there was more comments from Bird Gamer. Bad Lip Rating is the name of their channel. I think I'm the only one watching it now. Star Wars AI Edition. We have had a great time here, and I think we're about done. I think that's where we should end off. So, again, restating everything that's happened. They won. They certainly did win by taking the logical route, but there's a pretty good chance, at least, that Han Solo is now dead. I'd say it's pretty good. I don't think that that would be what Jabba the Hutt should do, but maybe it was what he did. There is a good chance that the Emperor is still alive in this scenario. In fact, a really good chance, but at least the Death Star is destroyed. So they do have a moment of celebration. And Vader is now a prisoner. So, yeah. And I do think it might not exactly have transpired the way it did here, but at some point, I think Vader would have become a prisoner. And all of this would have happened at some level. So I don't know. Leave in the comments what you think would have happened. And that is it for me tonight. I think an hour and a half's good. I don't want to torture you all, but hour and a half's about the length of a movie. So we'll just end there. Yes, and farewell. And I will definitely look into bad lip readings and definitely do a bad lip reading in the future, and definitely be doing something else with this. I don't know what yet. Give me a little time. We'll take a few weeks off from it, and then we'll head back in. So, from a galaxy far, far away, I wish you all a good night, and we will see what happens in the next episode. Dun 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 and dun 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 dun.